Hi, I'm Mario, and today we'll be covering Lab 6 for EE178 at San Jose State University. And in this lab, we are going to debug a FSM machine. And while doing this, we'll learn how to virtually debug it instead of using our Blackboard to debug. So to do this, we have our integrated logic analyzer and our virtual input output cores, which we have here. And basically this virtual input output cores are used to simulate the board in a virtual way. And for instance, we have our pause input here and our restart input, and depending on these inputs, it'll affect the ILA. And you can arm either restart or pause with a certain trigger, and depending on your trigger that you want, in this case I have a 1 to 0 transition, you can arm it with that, and that way as soon as you do that and you have, say for example, you have pause go from 1 to 0, then you will have that show here in the ILA. So in this case I have the second to third state, which is shown here after the trigger was armed, and that's basically what we did in this lab. We got the first to second, second to third, and then third to first. So here are the screenshots. I have what they look like. Here's the first to second, and then here's the second to third, which we just saw, and then third to first. And for example, if we wanted to get second to third, what I did is I had the value F, which is a 1 to 0 transition. Then you arm it by starting this. Make sure you run the trigger, and make sure your pause input is high before you run it, and your restart should be low at 0. And once it's ready, then you set this back to 0, and it'll trigger here, and you'll have a second to third state shown here in your ILA. And that's basically what I learned in this lab, was how to use the ILA cores and virtual input and output cores to debug on a deeper level. You can see your inputs virtually, and you can also see all the signals which are going into the board, and that way you can observe what's going on. And yeah, thank you for watching.